Video được Việt hóa bởi Ngọc Tân từ Group Tài nguyên dựng phim.
All right, let's take a look at a concept that I feel like a lot of people skip over and can kind of be frustrating. And that's how project files work, how media is stored on your system, and kind of how those things work together. Anytime that you make a new project in Resolve, it becomes a project file. Now, this project file contains a bunch of stuff about what you're making. So it has the metadata, it has bins, it has everything about how your media is organized in Resolve. It has your timelines, your color correction, your graphics, your composites, your effects, all of your audio adjustments, and a lot of your settings. All of that lives inside of a project file, and that project file is really small on your system because it's basically just a bunch of text under the hood that describes everything that you're doing to your media. On your hard drive is where kind of the big media lives. So it's not inside of your project file, it's just sitting on your hard drive somewhere. And that's your media files, the things that you recorded, audio, video, pictures, stills, whatever, as well as the render files that Resolve will make, which we can get into in a little bit, as well as proxies, which are like lower resolution versions of your media that make it easier to play back, as well as basically anything that you import, anything that you drag into Resolve or that you import in the media pool. All of that stuff doesn't really live in your project. Your project just has a reference to it. So your project knows once you give it media with a certain name, you're going to put it into a certain timeline at a certain place and do color correction to it, do some audio adjustments to it. It has all of that info. But the actual media file itself, the video files that you recorded, live on your hard drive. So if you want to say move your project from one system to another, you have to both have your project file as well as all of your media. And anytime that you're working in Resolve, this is what's happening. There's a project file that's being written to, and there are media files on your hard drive, and they kind of work together. Now, if you do want to take all of this and move it to a different system, you have two options. You can export the project, which is, again, just the project file, and then take all of your media from your hard drive and put them all on, say, a thumb drive, and copy that to another computer, open up your project and tell it where all of the media files are on your new computer. Or you can make something called a DaVinci Resolve archive. Now, an archive has everything that you need. This will actually combine what is normally in your project file as well as what's on your hard drive, and it will put it all into one big folder. So it'll say, do this to all of the media and copy all of the media into this one folder and package that up into one folder so that when you move this archive to a different system, it knows exactly where everything is supposed to be. Now, the reason I'm going over this is because one thing that we're going to be doing is working with a DRA archive. That's how we're going to be opening up our work files. But once you import this DRA, it turns it into a regular project with references to files on your hard drive. If you open it from an archive, the files will be in the .dra folder, but you won't actually be working from the DRA. You're going to be working from a duplicate project inside of Resolve that just looks at the media files inside of that folder. So that's kind of the overview about how projects and media and stuff is stored. Pretty helpful to know if you're going to be doing a lot of work in Resolve.
Video được Việt hóa bởi Ngọc Tân từ Group Tài nguyên dựng phim.